What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spot Show podcast. This is, of course, an independent wrestling podcast with a few pit stops along the way. I am your host, Jim Mint 10 Dickie Wabash, and we got another return. I was thinking in my head, who has the most Spot Show appearances, Oliver Kane or this man? And I think Oliver Kane has you by just a couple of appearances, maybe not, but we are joined today by the former fabulous one, Jason V. Brian, whatever you want to call him. He's here. V, thank you very much for joining me this week.
Well, you sure you sure know how to make a girl feel good. I will say that, because I had my notes and everything ready to go for the opening of this, and I was going to rib you a little bit because the only time you call me is when Madrox is down and out and you run out of friends.
That's not true.
But what you did this week was you asked me and I said, yep. And then I cleaned up my vanity room. If for anybody that's on house show, they want to see that. That's a picture of me and Cecil Cerveza. Hold on.
Yeah, it is.
There. I can't move my arm back that far. But then you said, okay, well, no, I'm too tired on Sunday. Just got back from Ohio. And so I was ready to go. And then you get a hold of me today and you go, hey, it is Monday at time of recording. And you said, well, my plans fell through. Do you want to record tonight? I said, oh, cool.
And as soon as I sent that, because you sent to me, let me read exactly what you said. Where is my phone? You said to me, and I quote, you said, scroll through here, scroll through here. Have I ever explained to you how important you make me feel? And I said, no, but you're welcome. And then I told you what my original plans were supposed to be for the day. And then I was like, oh, maybe I do. Like, I'm making this guy feel important because I'm calling upon him to come on the podcast. And then I realized, oh, there was a tinge of sarcasm when he said that, because I have what is called autism, and sometimes I'm a high functioning autistic, and
it's podtism.
I sometimes will miss the subtleties of things and take things literal. So yeah, this is a little bit of behind the scenes. My original plans today were to record. Oh, and this is also me explaining to you that I wasn't just shoving you off like a prom night dumpster baby. We originally were going to be recording Big Stupid Popcorn today, and then I was going to call on you for tomorrow and be like, hey, come on the podcast, yada yada. But I get a message from good old Reb, who is going to be doing Big Stupid Popcorn with me this week. And they just got out of Squared Circle Expo. So shout out to them. And he's like, look, I don't have a voice. And it's hard to be a broadcaster when you don't have a voice.
Speaking of, I am here in my hot and sweaty Chris Chan adjacent sweater or polo.
Yes.
For anybody that cannot see, I wore this 100% to Pop Dickie. It is way too hot. So if you will vamp for me, I will take my shirt off right here on this mostly audio forum.
Yeah, so it's like, listen, I got this bit that I came up with, and now I have realized the error of my ways, that this bit might actually have been taken a little too far. And now he is wearing a CM Punk shirt, which
that's the voice of the voiceless.
That's not CM Punk
is
on
CM
that
Punk.
shirt.
That is the best in the world.
Who is that on that shirt? That's David Arquette.
The best in the world.
Okay, you know how much I love a good t-shirt, and I'm in love with that shirt. That might be my new favorite.
I have tried wearing this multiple times, and you and I just keep missing each other.
Oh,
I wear it to places I think you're going to be, and then you're not there. Jimmy Carrot appreciated it.
That's really all that matters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How much of... Okay, you don't realize how special you're making me feel. How much thought do you truly put into, I'm going to pop Dickie with this?
With the Chris Chan shirt, I was literally cleaning the garage. I found it and I said, this kind of looks like Chris Chan. I will wear this at some point. I also didn't realize that large, probably back into 2010 or whenever this was made, is not large now, or I am larger than large. And now that's a thing I have to deal with.
I think a bit of column A, bit of column B, because listen, I do think that sizes are adjusting and sizes are changing. I do believe that. However, I am sure that when you bought that, you were still in the ring competing and you were still, in wrestler shape. And now you are not in wrestler shape. So I'm not saying that you're getting fat. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that your body type at the time of purchasing said shirt was probably different. So you had to adjust.
So when I was in wrestler shape, I was still fat. Except for that 6-month period in 2013. That was great. I had
that was a fun time period for you.
So,
yes.
Other than that, especially you weren't around for most of it, but late 2015, all of 2016. I mean, I was definitely the skinny fat. Now I have built the chest region to match the fat belly. And I do not hang over the belt as much as I once did. So we have baby steps, little victories.
I've always had a bit of a belly on me, but I've never hung over a belt. I can say that. I'm actually pretty proud of that one. I'm talked about this ad nauseum here on this podcast, but I am back on my weight loss journey and doing pretty well with that one. Saturday, as V mentioned, we were originally supposed to record. I was very tired. Zach Abstract and I did the worker trifecta. We hit a Sheetz, then we hit a Waffle House, then we hit a Wawa.
Ooh.
And I had intention of buying something from every single stop that we went to. However, we went to the Waffle House and Zach and I both are halfway through our meal and we just look at each other and we're like, we may be good on Waffle House for a bit. Mm-hmm. Waffle House is one of those things. Talked about it with Oliver. It was either on Spot or Paid. I can't remember, where he was like, dude, it's terrible. It's one of those things that you only like it because you don't have it. But if you have it consistently, you realize how terrible it is. And he's absolutely right, because the last time I had Waffle House was 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. I hadn't hit that refractory period yet. Mm-hmm. So all of this to say, I went kind of ham at the Waffle House and I got some biscuits and gravy with my meal, and those sat like rocks on my stomach.
That was a point that Oliver made that hit really close to home with the Denny's and the IHOP and things like that. The things that are only open after wrestling shows. Those are the only things you can go to. So when you're in the middle of the day, you don't want to go there. And I went to a Denny's recently in the middle of the day. And I had been gone from Denny's for so long because I don't know if you know this. The last time I did anything relevant was over a decade ago. I don't know why you keep calling me, but we went to Denny's because the girlfriend has never been to Denny's. So many things she hasn't done.
Hang on. And you've been with her how long, and you've yet to take her to a Denny's?
Yeah. 5 years. 5 years now. But we don't have a Denny's real close. The closest Denny's is an hour away. You and I had a conversation about why didn't you just eat the Cracker Barrel at your house?
Oh, yeah.
And the Cracker Barrel is an hour away from me. So, yes, I'm going to eat my pancakes on the road, driving 65 because I'm safe down Interstate 74. Speed limit 70, by the way.
So anyway, back to the Denny's trip. What did it unlock memories of post-show hangouts?
Yes, it was the one we tried. I can never remember the Terre Haute Denny's, the good one and the bad one. So I just took a gamble. It was the one we tried doing the Harlem Shake video at.
Okay, you're dude, we're lined up right now because I was going to bring up us trying to do the Harlem Shake in the Denny's, but continue.
And all we did was the first 28 seconds of me pelvic thrusting.
And they said
before we were able to do the big, if anybody was alive back in the Harlem Shake period, I don't know what your listenership is like. Do you have people over 15? Like, I don't know.
Yes, we do.
So if you were there, if you were around for that, it was like 28 seconds of just two people, maybe one person doing a little pelvic thrust. Pretty pretty awkward. And then all of a sudden, that's when the beat drops and everybody's
there
you go. Hands in the air, whether they care or not.
Yes. Do you know who invented the Harlem Shake?
Stevie Ray.
No, actually.
He has a car wash in Houston, though.
He does. This is a weird bit of internet trivia. The saga that this man has had. Filthy Frank invented the Harlem Shake.
Really?
Yes. And then Filthy Frank became Joji, who is now like very well known, like in that genre of music, which is like sad boy emo bops.
But I got my emo Peter Parker.
Oh, you do?
You like that?
Yeah. I'll put some dirt in your eye.
That's right. I'll put more than that in your eye.
So, but okay. So speaking of that, what was the review of Denny's? Did she enjoy it? Did she not enjoy it?
Oh, she loved it. She loved it, and it was good. It was fine. I enjoyed it as well. She wants to go back. She wanted to go back almost immediately, and I was like, "No, we're good. Give it a minute. You got to let these things marinate for a while."
Yes,
but she knew of all the stories that I had told her of Denny's on the road,
like that time that Shank ordered literally half the menu.
I wasn't there for that one, but I've heard of this one. I do.
Yeah, Shank ordered a lot of food.
There was that day where Cecil and I did shots of maple syrup, and just like Super Troopers. But
yep, I was there for that one.
Then afterwards, I tipped our waitress, who may or may not have been a gypsy, with my Twitter handle, and she did not DM me.
I once gave a B-dubs waitress my Twitter handle and did not get a follow ski out of that one. Or actually, no, I did actually. We actually talked for a little bit because there were two instances that I did it. One was also at a Denny's and nothing came of it. But then the one that came from the B-dubs, I was actually with Josh Steele. Excuse me. And he was the one that encouraged me to leave my Twitter handle. And she followed me, DM'd me. Nothing ever came of it, which is sad, but yeah, so that has worked for me before.
You're cooler than I am. I didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
And I was Mr. Man Crush Monday.
That's one of the many aliases that you that you did partake in.
I put my Plenty of Fish profile in my ring intro.
That is a
for shoot. For shoot. Yeah. I was trying.
You get an A for effort, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Always. So I'm that way with by the way, we're on the topic of restaurants being ruined. Specifically the Georgetown McDonald's, because of how many times and the Georgetown Subway. Your hometown fast food places are completely ruined for me because I mean, I have one reason to probably not like the Georgetown McDonald's, but it's not the one that people like. We just literally would only eat at that McDonald's after Georgetown shows, and then before we would go to the Subway. And so many times I would be like, okay, I'm going to the Subway. Hey, can you get me a Subway while you're there?
Get me a Subway.
I don't know why I said it that way. It's like, hey buddy, can you get me something from the Subway? Yeah, Willie, what do you want? Here's my order. I had on my Google Drive, and this was probably this is the shoot. This was probably 2 years ago or so. I still had a Subway order on my Google Drive from where Cecil was like, here's my Subway order. And I don't remember what it was, but that was a 10-year-old Subway order at least.
That is insane.
I'm a digital hoarder, brother. I do not erase anything, and that is something that I had to face whenever, because for those of you that care, we're getting a little bit inside on this one. A lot of inside baseball. As you know, I've been redoing the studio here, and I got me a new PC, and it's really, really nice, really big and dumb, and
best kind.
I'm
also pretty big and dumb.
Yeah, that's why I had you on here. I had to, transfer some stuff, and it really makes your digital well-being in like when you're like, do I need that? No, I don't need that at all. So I'm just going to worry about that. So there are so many files that are like, I still have my other computer, but so they're on there if I need them. But you really measure the importance of things when you're like, do I really need that?
Mm-hmm.
No, I absolutely don't. I absolutely don't. It's not important.
100% with you. That's a part of the reason why I cleaned out the garage recently, and then I found the Chris Chan shirt.
Well, so. I will say you cleaning out the garage is what motivated me to finally get the new studio set up. That's because good. This is this is a shoot. We were talking and you were like, oh, I'm doing this. And I'm like, I got to do a spring cleaning day in the studio. And you're like, what are you doing today? Do it. And I was sending you all the different, we were sending each other progress pics. You found a dead bat in the garage.
He also might've been a method actor.
Okay. Why?
He had his skeleton and everything out. Like he was really in character for being a dead bat.
Okay. I love that. I was going to say, did he like fly away or something?
No, he didn't fly away.
I didn't know if it was like one of those fish where you see like they got a big bite taken out of their head and then they're just still chugging right along.
That also is a big dumb fish. I know which video you're talking about. It's that one that the seal's just chewing his head and he just looks up there with dopey eyes.
We've been on Reddit a lot, haven't we?
That's right.
We love Reddit.
I'm close to my 700-day streak, I think.
Oh, there's streaks for Reddit?
Yeah, there's streaks.
What's mine? I wonder.
Get on there. That's how you find out.
I don't think I've been on Reddit every day. Where do you check this?
You just got to do anything. You got to do an upvote or a comment or
I just learned
any of that.
That's why. So you're commenting and okay.
I stopped commenting because there was this entitled white woman that was assaulting a cop, and the cop did nothing to her. And she said, I'm a DA. And so I put on the comment that if this was Booker T, he would have given him a sidewalk slam. And
what?
And that was a threat of violence. And then I got a ban.
So
I was like, fine. So I've got real petty. And I said, fine, I guess I don't have to comment at all for anything.
One time on Reddit, I was 6 months into the business. I decided to go on Ask Me Anything. I am a independent wrestling manager. Ask me anything. And it's like, brother, you have no experience, no right to be doing this. Why? Like, it was just exciting to be like, I'm doing this thing. Here we go. And funny enough, and I remember telling you this, I got an email, and it just so happened to work out at the time. My email updates weren't sending to my phone, so I was missing any email that I was getting. And it was an email from a film director being like, hey, we're making a documentary about independent wrestling. Would you be interested in being in this? So I don't know if that documentary ever came out, but I missed the email by like 2 months. So I could have very easily been in a documentary about independent wrestling. Who knows?
That's incredible.
I know, at like 6 months into the business too. 9 months, 10 months, somewhere.
Don't
very
do the
early.
Thing. Don't do the thing.
Why do you
That's
think?
why you went straight to 9.
Yes, I did.
That's right.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
6 straight to 9. Got it. Because you're an adult.
I don't know if it's because of the 6'7" meme, but it seems like people are like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 or so. Like, and then you have 6'7". So I don't know if that's just a common thing people go to, or I'm noticing it now strictly because people are doing 6'7".
Yeah, it's definitely that. It's the yellow car gimmick.
Yeah.
If you think about a yellow car, then when you leave the house, all you're gonna do is see a yellow car.
Yeah, I have that with a specific time. Like, it seems like almost every time I look at my phone, like, it just so happens to be on that time. Like, okay, no, let me rephrase that. It's almost as if, like clockwork, I will look at my phone during that time of day.
Mm-hmm.
And that time is a birthday of someone that you and I both know very well. I'm not going to say the number, but you know exactly what I mean. So yeah, it just seems like that. It's like, oh, thank you for reminding me of that phone. But yeah.
Is that one of those, I think we talked about it before, is like a Pavlovian response? Is that where it is? Where like you're like in your head, you already know that it's close, like your internal clock meets the regular or the real clock?
It's got to be a subconscious thing. It's got to be, because I don't actively seek it out. And I don't necessarily know if that would be considered a Pavlovian response. I don't know. I don't know. And now you've got me thinking if I have any Pavlovian responses in my life that I'm aware of. I don't think I do. Like, I know there's that whole bit from the Office where Jim would restart his computer. Mint Dwight, Mint Dwight. And then all of a sudden Dwight's mouth started tasting bad whenever Jim restarted his computer. So I don't know how true that actually is, but I don't know. It's like I told when I was seeking therapy, I told my therapist about it, and she's like, you're just looking for signs. And I was like, yeah, but it's like I'm not actively doing it. It just so happens almost every day. Oh, it just so happens to be that time. It's weird. It's really weird.
It's because you connect with that. You could, if that was anything else, if it was, 6:04, you're not going to notice it.
Yes, exactly.
You're not going to notice it. And it's not even going to be a flash in your brain. But since it's that number that matters, now it takes you back into a, place and time.
I was also maybe this is a Pavlovian response. I was thinking about this as I was getting ready to record here. I finish every thought, and then when the person starts talking, I immediately grab my drink and take a drink, even though I'm not like super duper thirsty. It's just like a creature of habit thing. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I was trying, and I made myself conscious of it before we went live, and I've noticed myself doing it. Like, I'll be like, I say the thing, now it's time for Brian to talk.
There you go.
Take a drink. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to like force myself to be like, oh, I've really got to pee right now. But
since you became conscious of it, now you can change it.
But can I though?
Yeah.
But can I? That's the thing that I'm trying to do. I'm also trying to not. Yes. I'm also trying to not say like as much, because I say like a lot when I'm on the podcast. So it's like we did this, and then like, it was like, and
you can also do a segue without saying it's a segue.
That's very fair.
That's
I have crutches.
You get really excited when you find a segue, and you're like, wow, you're like the guy that has this 2-wheel cart that's just now he's able to ride down the sidewalk.
Brother, I saw a guy on one of those 1-wheel gimmicks. Those things go.
Oh, those are terrifying. I don't have anywhere near the coordination for that.
There is no way that I would do anything remotely close to that. I have no hand-eye coordination. I have not a single athletic bone in my body. I have talked about this before, and I would just like, there was no way. There was no way. I saw a guy, it was not the same guy. So it's weird that there's multiple in my town. A guy was doing DoorDash orders on a 1-wheel. And it's like, that has got to be the weirdest level of balance. Have you ever,
man, if they ordered soup, he's done. He's done for.
Oh, I know with Segway. Have you ever been on an actual Segway?
No,
I haven't either.
The Simon Dean gimmicks? No,
I would die.
Yeah.
And then what are the hoverboards? The gimmicks that you stand on. It's like a Segway without the gimmick.
Yeah, those were the hotness for a minute.
They really
all the little kids got it. I don't understand why there was so many videos of the little kid making fun of the dad because the dad gets on there and he just starts spinning wildly out of control.
Oh my God, there's a video of this guy getting shit whipped on he's just whoa. It's just so.
That's the one.
So I think I've talked about this before. This is the masochist in me, and this is the psychopath in me, because what I'm about to say here probably should put me on a list. But one of specific fails, like I love fails. One of my favorite things to see is people breaking something really expensive. Like it brings me such joy when someone like shatters a phone or something, or breaks, like whether it be like a hoverboard or a drone. Drone crashes are some of my favorite videos on the internet. I love them. They just turn their drone on, then immediately fly it into a power line or something. I don't know why it brings me such joy, but I absolutely love it.
I'm glad you didn't go the other direction. I thought you were going to say when somebody breaks something like a bone.
Oh,
and I've absolutely not. So you know that video that we all got surprised by a couple years back.
Oh, Wolfpack Sting.
Was that him?
It was Wolfpack Sting was his name, is what they were calling
when
him.
His knees went the wrong way. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I know. It hurts because my knees barely go the correct way. I can't get them to do anything else.
That is something I cannot handle. I cannot handle bone breaking. Do you remember that show on MTV?
I can't even watch arm wrestling. If I see an arm wrestling video, I have to scroll past it.
Because you know what's going to happen. They're not
even if it's just standard, regular old arm wrestling.
Because why would someone post a regular, normal arm wrestling video or arm wrestling? You know that it's going to be a bone break. You know it's going to be a bone break. So we're just going to go right past it. Do you remember that show on MTV called Scarred? Did you ever watch that? Oh, yeah. I would watch it like through my fingers. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I know that I don't get sick or anything. It doesn't like make me ill to watch these, but oh man, it and then you almost get that phantom pain.
Oh yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of where it's like, oh, all of a sudden my knee hurts now, or all of a sudden the big one that all of us guys feel is someone gets hit in the old twig and giggle berries, and then you get that phantom pain. That's a tough one.
Nah, I can watch those all the time now. That's fine. That doesn't bother me.
No, it's not that watching them affects me, but hearing people like talk about, you just get like a phantom pain. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain for me. But yeah, this is a great conversation.
You empathize with them.
I do.
Is this a great conversation?
It is. Are
you being sarcastic now?
No, because
should I just go back to my dinner? Because that's what I did. Okay. This is before you start doing your rigmarole.
Because you know that's where I'm trying to go.
But life is about learning from your experiences and trying to do better next time, correct? I'm trying my best, as you see my screen name. But it's trying to do things better. The first time I was on your podcast, I had a gorilla mind. And I was seeing the past, future, and alternate realities. It was a bad time.
You could smell colors.
Yeah. And then the second time I was on, I could also smell colors because I brought Cecil Cerveza with me.
That was a fun one.
So then when I was on this last time, I got this nice little setup and everything in here. I had the the camera, I got the microphone over here. I got all of that, but then I forgot the headphones. So this time, boom, blue headphones. Check that out. I'm getting better. I also ate my Dolly Parton TV dinner while on camera. I learned that's a bad idea because when I'm trying to talk, black pepper is actually spicy to me. It's only when I'm trying to talk. So
and maybe you just shouldn't chomp into a microphone.
Maybe that's possible too. ASMR. So
ASMR. Here we go. Yeah, because like I have frozen cotton candy grapes in my fridge, and I would love to be eating them right now, but I don't want people to cotton candy grapes.
No, you can do that one. That one's fine. Those are pretty good.
Yeah. Do you do the frozen cotton candy grapes? Because my Lord.
We did because the girlfriend got some from a girl at her work, and it was like 5 grapes and she paid $7 for them. And I said, we're not doing that no more.
No, hang on, because I bought like a whole thing of them for like $5 or whatever.
What are you talking? Hold on. Are you talking about? Okay, you're saying we are talking about 2 different things. I'm talking about candied grapes.
I'm talking
liquefied
about
sugar.
No. I'm
talking about cotton candy grapes.
Yeah, cotton candy grapes, like literal grapes that are called cotton candy grapes, and you put them in the freezer and they're delicious. You give them a little suckle.
Okay.
Kind of thaw a little bit, then you chew them, because I have sensitive teeth. I can't, like, if I see, oh my God, I had the reaction. I can't see people bite into popsicles. Like it, Brian. I don't like it. Do you want to know?
For you?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. That reaction I just had was a shoot, by the way. And I'm
trying to pat you on the back.
Thank you.
It's not working.
I really appreciate that. Do you want to know another thing that skis me out?
The rigmarole?
No, I wasn't trying to segue there. I don't know why I'm about to say this on a podcast.
Okay. Do it.
And thank God Matt Maverick is no longer in the business and I'm no longer at EPW, because Matt Maverick would go out of his way to mess with me on this.
I'm glad there was a second part to that sentence. Otherwise, I was just rude.
I cannot stand styrofoam.
Oh. I don't have the same problem, but I do understand it. I get it.
Like, you go out to eat with someone and they want to put their initials or something in their... I can't do it, dude. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, it skis me out. Like, this is an ex of mine. One time we were out to eat with her entire family, and her brother-in-law was doing it. And they knew what they were doing. We were sitting. They had positioned me where I couldn't run away. And he starts, and here's the thing. Once I notice it, that's like, if it's just happening over here, the squeaking of it, it's fine. But once I notice what's going on, that's when it really bothers me. So I just happened to notice that he was over there scraping the styrofoam, and I almost had to jump out. I was like, I said, you need to stop. I almost threw water on him of like, seriously, that's how much it skeeves me out, man. It skeeves me out. But you know what doesn't skeeve me out?
Hey.
The Spot Show podcast, which you are, of course, listening to right now, an independent wrestling podcast with a few pit stops along the way. Each and every week, my friends and I get on here and we talk about the wacky world of independent wrestling and everything in between. If you like what we're doing here, you can, of course, go to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Back us at the $5 or above tier. There, you're going to get all of our shows early and ad-free. And we are still, until the end of the month, which this comes out in April. So never mind. I was going to say earnings and proceeds are going towards Madrox, but that has already subsided. Thank you for everyone who did that. Of course, your Patreon earnings went to go support Madrox to help him through this tough time. February and March earnings all went to go help him. So really big shout out to everyone that did that. Really, really much appreciated. You helped out Big Brother Madrox, and that's always very cool. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you don't have the extra money to toss our way. I get that completely. You can, of course, support us for absolutely free. You can go to madbashstudios.com. There you're going to find links to all of our social media. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Go do all of that. Go to your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a 5-star written review. But if you do all of this stuff, you can ensure that the microphones stay on and the envelopes stay full. We have got some plug skis and upcoming dates for you. Of course, April 25th, Mad Bash Wrestling presents Event Horizon. By the time this comes out to the public, matches have already been announced. But if you're hearing this on the Patreon, you're getting some exclusive announcements right now for matches. We have got Beef versus Dalton Davis. That's right. AEW and ROH superstar Beef is making his way to Mad Bash Wrestling to face Dalton Davis. We have also got, this is going to be a banger. This is going to be a banger. We've got Zach Abstract versus the Cobra. Devontae Knox is going to be defending the Mad Bash Wrestling Championship against Colby Jack, and Oliver Kane is going to be defending the Baja World Championship against the dead ringer Aaron Williams. Oh, there's more matches to come. There's going to be more surprises to come. This is going to be a show that you do not want to miss. Of course, more information on that can be found on our Facebook page. Go to the event page. Give it a going notification so that you can, of course, stay up to date on all of that. And I got to tell you, I'm excited. This is, of course, we are in Booker Dickey era, and we have got one of my favorite bookers of all time on the show. This isn't going to be a recurring thing here where everyone comes on here and tries to talk me off a ledge and give me advice, but we're in a fun little time period now, and that's what everyone is feeling the need to do. So Jason V has got some stories for me that are going to relate to some stories that Kid Riot told last week on the podcast. I'm sure that you've got some other Booker advice. The main one that you probably have for me is don't do it. Get out while you're still ahead, would be my guess.
Maybe.
But we are going to hear those stories after we hear a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Venom Energy. Hey, we've all been there, and there's nothing wrong with admitting to it. Well, what I mean is that we've all hit that midday slump, and we all need a little push to get us through the rest of the day. Well, what better option to give you a pick-me-up than one of the wonderful flavors of Venom Energy? Venom is what gets Mad Bash through those long show days, and we know that it can do the same for you. I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit for you, too. Yeah, come to our merch table when you see us at a show, and with the purchase of a Mad Bash Wrestling sticker or magnet, you get a Venom Energy drink on us. While supplies last, of course, so you better act quick. We'd like to thank Venom again for sponsoring this episode. Please consume responsibly. Not recommended for children under 18, pregnant or nursing women, or people sensitive to caffeine. This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/MadBash Studios. If you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, you are helping fund the definition of independent. Hundreds of hours of content starting at just $5 a month. You are going to get early, ad-free access to everything that Mad Bash Studios has to offer, on top of exclusive shows starting at just $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee a month. You can go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, and you can support the dream of being unapologetically creative. Booker Dickey era. This is what we are in right now. We are in a fun little world of flux. Jason V, I got to tell you, we got Mad Bash Studios 3.0 here, my lovely new setup that is incredible. And we're entering Mad Bash Wrestling 3.0, which is basically Mad Bash Wrestling standing on its own as a wrestling promotion.
Yeah, and I'm offended.
Why are you offended?
Because you go ahead and you big up Zach Abstract into Cobra, Beef and Dalton Davis, and all these guys are amazing in their own right. That's fine. I'm on your podcast right now. You're not telling anybody that I'm going to be there?
Oh, you're going to be in attendance. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know.
You booked me. What is it? What's my going rate for crowd?
Oh, so you're expecting I have to pay you?
Yeah, they got to do a payout
to come sit in the crowd.
I want you to pay me at least as much as I paid you for UWC Online,
which is
twice as much. Twice as much as a normal Friday show. Okay,
which was nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. 3 times as much.
What if I get you something free from the concessions?
That'll work. Okay.
I may be able to make that happen.
4 times 4 times as much, because it's that important.
I don't get what bit you're trying to go with here, because you paid me literally nothing. You paid me once a month.
Well, yeah, but that's at the end of the month. I'm talking about one of the regular ones. I don't want to go ahead and break your bank.
Oh, yeah. So then nothing. I need to
5 times nothing. 5 times nothing.
How far are you wanting to roll?
I am a negotiator. Okay.
6. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
No, man, this is a really exciting time period. Obviously, for those of you that listen to the podcast, you've been able to see the journey that we've established here so far. And to get a little bit maudlin here and a little bit hokey, I am honestly looking at a lot of the things in my past that have gotten me to this point, and I talk about it all the time. Jason V's the mentor, the unwilling mentor, the guy that taught me a lot. Did I listen to most of it? Probably not. But later on in life, I realized, he's actually trying his best to help me. So not saying that you're necessarily on here to give me some advice and pointers as I enter this new era of booking, but Kid Riot was last week, and you have got some stories to piggyback off of that. And then maybe it can also turn into a little bit of advice.
So that was what I got a hold of you for. After you said or asked if I would be on the podcast, I listened to your episode with Kid Riot. And I wanted to be okay. I don't know how you guys, anybody else, the other listeners listen, but I listen while I'm on the road, and I feel like I'm in a call, if that makes any sense. Because it's usually my buddies, and I'm like, oh yeah, I try to interject because I'm an idiot, and I'm like, oh, this is a recording, I can't interject. They won't hear me. They're not listening, but I'll do that. And when you guys were doing your talk, I was like, oh yes, I do remember this. I do want this. I want to tell him this. So then I have to tell you guys like 2 days later when I actually hear it. It's okay. Too much. Anyway.
No, it's not, because it's really funny to me because I know when you're listening, because I'll get a message from you, hey, to piggyback off of this. And that's always how it works.
And that with Kid Riot specifically this last week, a little bit with Oliver, but that was like 2 weeks ago, and I've already forgotten most of that. But the Kid Riot one, I started writing notes. I go, I can do this. I can tell you the things. Like I remember, and I wanted to piggyback off of what he was talking. So I remember the shows at the church/bar. I remember those shows because it was somewhere in the neighborhood of Bloomington, Illinois, somewhere, but in like one of those towns where it is like one family is the town kind of deal. So it was,
you can't outdraw cake.
You can't outdraw cake. Absolutely. It felt very similar in vibes to the IWAU Noble place, where you're just like, I'm driving a little bit too far for there to be a wrestling show down the road. It's like, where is this going to be? And then all of a sudden, boom, church. And so
literally.
So I was there and I got lost. So this is before GPS. MapQuest probably existed, but I don't know. So we just had a general idea, and we hoped. we hoped for the best. And so I don't remember for sure if I told this story, but if I did, it was the first time I was on, which was forever ago now. But I have to call Kid Riot because I'm completely lost. I don't know where we're at. And I got, my car is myself, Jeff Harris, it's Aaron Matthews, Drew Thomas was there, and Angelo Santelli for some reason was there, and referee Carly Ray. So I don't know how many of those names you actually remembered, or if anybody listening knows those names, but
50-50.
that was my car. And so I get a hold of Kid Riot, and I say, it's like, we're lost. How do we get to this place? And he says, well, you got to tell me where you're at. And I said, okay, hold on. There's a sign coming up, and I look and I squint, and I'm trying to figure out what this says. I said, okay, we're at Boone Street. How far away is the building from Boone Street? And the whole car got quiet, and everybody, I looked, and every single person was looking at me, and I go, what? And they're like, no. They said, that says 800 North. I go, 800. Oh, we're at 800 North, no Boone Street. So that was the way up there.
So where was it in relation to Boone Street? Were you
we figured it out. It was relatively close. We were a few minutes away. I've probably blacked that part of the story up because after this idiot moment, then we found the venue and we're like, oh, okay.
Love it.
Here, we're good. Also on the way back, is where the fun started.
Oh,
Keep in mind, myself, Jeff Harris, Aaron Matthews, Angelo Santelli, referee Carly Ray, Drew Thomas. Show ends at like midnight or something, or close to. We're all tired. We're all so tired, and we don't think we can get home without falling asleep. But specifically, Jeff Harris, who owned the vehicle we were driving. So, good guy Drew says, "Don't worry, buddy, I got it. I'm wide awake. I'll go ahead and drive." So he gets behind the wheel. He starts.
And how long of a drive was it for you, by the way?
So for part of the car, it was about an hour. For the rest of the car, about 2 hours ish. And then after that, Jeff Harris had another hour in the other direction. So it was a bit of a rough one. It wasn't like going all the way to Minnesota and back kind of deal, or like that the Wisconsin one we did when we could tiptoe into Canada if we wanted to.
Hashtag Wisconsin. So Drew decides to start driving, and we are half a mile away, and we pass a cop. Oh no.
We pass a cop, and I don't know. I do not have the history of this little town in front of me. I don't know for sure if it was a sundown town or not. But the moment he saw Drew driving, boom, whipped around, pulled us over. So, because Drew I don't know if this ever happened to him before or since, but he got pulled over for DWB. Some of your listeners may know what that is. It is definitely driving while black. You can't be black in specific towns. In this town, the only time they saw black people was like on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reruns. So the cop wants all of our IDs. So he puts his little cop face in there, and he said, "We need IDs." And we all hand them to him, and he looks, and he starts saying, I'm going to fudge the names a little bit, or the towns, but it was like Chicago, St. Louis, Kankakee, Danville. Why are you all together? Wrestling show. It's like, okay, I need her ID. It's like, well, she doesn't have one. Well, why doesn't she have an ID? It's like, oh, she's only 15.
Oh no.
Like, all right, well, who's related to her? I said, none of us.
You idiot.
We're real stupid.
I'd have been like, that's my little sister.
But luckily, they knew of the church/bar. So that's a weird thing. And since we told him about it, he's like, okay, well, you guys are all fine, but you need to hurry up and get straight home. You have too many people in the car. I said, what do you mean you got too many people? I said, you have 6 people. There's only 5 seatbelts. Like, oh. He's like, he takes Jeff Harris, puts him in the back of the squad car. We all have to drive back to the venue. We get back to the venue, and so Jeff Harris, the cop's hanging out watching. Jeff Harris has to get into somebody else's car, in which they said, we will drive you into Bloomington. That's pretty close. Then we'll switch back and you can go home. You'll get away from this cop. Okay.
Whoa.
So we're cool. We're doing that. And then we get to our meeting point, gas station or whatever. And then we're like, okay, well, how are we we don't want to have this problem again. We can't put 6 people in a 5-seater car. So it's like, I think it was Angelo. He said, put somebody in the trunk. Okay.
Oh,
we got
Aaron Matthews.
We got all the bags out of the trunk. Everybody put their bags on their laps. Jeff Harris was the smallest. Technically, okay, the 15-year-old girl was the smallest. But we are not putting a 15-year-old girl in the trunk. We've learned from our recent mistake.
That would have been an absolute disaster.
So we put Jeff Harris in the trunk of his own car.
Oh, I was guessing Aaron Matthews.
No, he was a little bit bigger than Jeff.
Okay.
And Jeff was like, well, it's fine, I'll do it. Because he's a chill dude. So we get all the way back to Champaign, which is about an hour drive from Bloomington. And then we get to drop off Drew because he's staying with his cousin and everything up there. So he's doing his thing. We get into his cousin's apartment complex. And as soon as he gets up to the first speed bump, he just nudges over it a little bit and then guns it. and you just hear, oh, from the trunk. So there's like, I want to say like 3 speed bumps from the entrance until we get to his cousin's apartment. So of course we go around about 4 times
just to fuck with it.
Because we got to make sure you're at the right spot, right?
Oh, 100%.
So just every time, ease it over.
Oh.
So then once we got that taken care of, then we were good. We went ahead and we had our 5 people in the car, and we were able to make our way back home. So that's the story of Jeff Harris in the trunk on Boone Street.
On Boone Street.
I can mark that off my list.
I've been pulled over on the way to a show before recently. I don't know if I talked about it or not, but Madrox and I got pulled over on the way to the last EPW show that we worked. It was speeding. It was me. I had taken that road 1,000 times and I just forgot. I forgot where I was for a second. And the bitch of it was that I was in the process of slowing down, but I guess not enough for that cop. So
yeah,
I didn't get a ticket. So that's definitely a plus. That's definitely a plus.
So I do have another one. I can't remember if it was spot show or paid show. Which one did you guys talk about Congo Kong?
Spot show, probably.
Okay, because I have a Congo Kong story.
Wonderful.
I love Congo Kong.
Great guy.
He's great guy. Cool. He's so big. He's so big.
He's a massive gentleman. Yes.
And he loves to hug. My mom adored him. So he worked for UWC Online a couple of times. He would ride down with Mark Vandy.
Yep.
So, but we never knew when he was coming. He would always just come down, just whatever. He had nothing better to do, and he just wanted to get on the road.
I can think of 2 times definitely that he was there. Yeah,
it was 2 times that I'm referencing. There was a third one in the works, and it never came to be.
Yeah.
So he worked for us a couple of times, but we didn't know he was coming until he got there. But once he's there, I'm not gonna not use him.
Yeah.
So I even asked him. I go, you want to work tonight? He goes, yeah, buddy, no problem. I'll go ahead and work. I'm here already. So I'm like, all right. You got the Kong gimmick with you? He goes, well, that depends.
Oh, I know the story.
He's like, that depends. I was like, right now I'm going to be Osiris because I'm working everywhere as Kong, and Osiris doesn't really get booked anymore, but Osiris is here now. I was like, okay. He said, if you want Kong, you're going to give me $300. I said, Osiris is good.
Yeah.
Osiris is great. So the first time he comes down, it's he's going to be the mystery partner in the main event tag match. And so
Conrad, right?
We have our boy Conrad go out there. And
Rest in peace.
That's right. Oh man. Okay. First of all, piggyback off that for a second. There is a story that I remembered recently, and I went to message Conrad, and I go, "Oh, yeah. I can't do that." Yeah. I've reached that point in life where, like, it's it's like him, and then you guys talking about Gavin last week, same kind of deal. I was like, man, that would be good. Let's go ahead. I want to rib Gavin for this Steve Williams rib.
Oh yeah,
and then couldn't do it. But anyway, okay, so Conrad says, it's like, well, I needed a tag team partner for tonight, and with you 2 big boys on the other side, I figured I have to give my cousin a call. And so, ladies and gentlemen, come on out, my cousin Osiris. And then here comes this giant monster of a dude. So fast forward a series of months, and we have a similar match. It's going to be Sam Knight needs a tag team partner. So he said, well, a couple of big boys like you, I needed a partner I could count on. So I called up my cousin.
So,
and so
they're all related.
Osiris comes out, and he's that. So it's like, first of all, Kong loved this idea. He loved the idea that for whatever reason, he was every black guy's cousin. Like, so the next time, we had already set it in motion that day. I said, all right, the next time you're down here, we're going to have the same situation, and you're going to come out, but you're Sourdough's cousin.
Oh, lovely.
So, but he wasn't able to do it because nothing ever matched up again. He just never came on back down.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't a thing we could book in advance because $300 with $2 admission. I can't be doing all that.
You were only doing. Oh my God, you were
$2 admission.
$2. I forgot about.
All it was doing was paying for the building. Yeah. For anybody listening, if you don't think I'm allowed to talk about this, it's totally fine. I just came from the cookout.
Okay.
It's okay.
Cody or Jason Raheem Vendetta.
That's right.
Yeah. That's my favorite Halloween costume that you've ever done was when you did Cody Raheem Rhodes. It was so funny.
That is a very funny Halloween costume in a very specific market.
Yeah.
Very specific. We are at my boss for the shoot jobs retirement party. And my girlfriend, Cara, she's talking with a coworker of mine and his girlfriend about just Halloween and just things. And I'm only half paying attention. I know they're talking, but she's talking to somebody else. I'm happy now. So they're doing that. And she said, oh yeah, I want to show you what we went as for Halloween. And of course, my coworker and his girlfriend are both black. And they
have no clue.
No context as far as the wrestling and the meme and any of that stuff. So she shows them, and I like slow motion try to stop the phone. Like when you're dropping your bowl of cereal with your porcelain bowl. And you just, so I miss.
Specific.
It's a very specific thing. I miss, and I'm not close enough. So they see it and they're like, whoa, Brian, what are you wearing? What is happening? I said, okay, so you see what had happened was.
What
happened was, and I give him the story, and I have to give, because jokes are really funny when you have to spend 5 minutes explaining them.
Oh, right? Naturally.
So I have to explain, okay, somebody's photoshopping Cody Rhodes into great black moments in history, like the Martin Luther King rally and things of that nature.
You need to explain the Cody Rhodes ended racism promo.
Yes, so much stuff, so much backstory for this stupid joke. But afterwards, we were cool. Well, we were cool the whole time, but we were cool.
The one that I was trying to get you guys to do was the Acolytes.
That was I tried to get her to do Akeem and Slick.
Oh, that would have been.
She wouldn't do that one.
Great.
I wanted to do Brandy and Stardust.
Yeah.
Or Dusty and Sapphire.
Oh,
that would have been good too. But the Brandy and Stardust one kind of fell by the wayside when the Raheem gimmick, the meme and everything started really kicking up in that year.
Yeah. And then last year you were Liquid Chris.
No, I was the pickle.
Oh, you were the pickle.
I was the pickle man.
Yeah, because you were meeting my at the time girlfriend, and you thought it would be funny to dress up as the pickle. The man in the pickle suit tricked me again.
That was 100% the reason.
Yeah, and
I'm the idiot that Cara and I are the only ones in this show dressed up because it was like 2 weeks before Halloween, and they didn't advertise costume thing. But I wanted to go up to your brand new girlfriend as I was meeting her for the first time in a pickle suit and just take her away.
Yeah, she would not have gotten that.
No, she wouldn't have got it. She wouldn't have got it, but it would have been funny.
And then you put it on Jimmy Carrot, and Jimmy Carrot is just casually Carrot.
He stole it from me.
Walking around in a pickle suit. That sounds like Carrot.
He just took it. He's like, give me that pickle suit. I was like, okay, whatever. Here you go.
Okay, yeah, sure. Here we go. This is perfect. This is exactly what we needed. Yeah, I always build up in my head Halloween costumes and wanting to do really good Halloween costumes. An ex and I were going to do Tommy Wiseau and Lisa one year.
Very specific.
Yes. I ended up doing my hipster Pennywise costume. The ex that you're referring to, we were going to do Wario and Waluigi.
Right.
And then, another costume, like of course the Chris Chan costume. I have all the stuff for it. I just need to do it. There have been a couple other costumes I've thought of that I really want to do, but so all of this to say, I have nowhere to go to do these costumes. So why even bother? Because it's not like we're going to a Halloween party or anything. Or if you remember, one time I threw a Halloween party just so I had an excuse to dress up in a costume. And then
was that the reason?
That was one of the reasons that I wanted to. Yeah.
That was the day I went as Chris Halls, wasn't it?
No, that was that was later.
That was later. That was a great costume. I had so much grease in my hair.
Oh, it was terrible. It was so funny.
It's like half a bottle of LA looks.
I gotta say, the other person's costume though probably stole the entire show. But
it was disgusting. I found that picture not too long ago. Like we even had the little tube of yellowing the nicotine.
Yeah,
teeth.
I remember
the nicotine teeth and the.
Yep. And then I last minute decided to be Kevin Owens. Yeah, it was no, the one I'm talking about, I did Link the Human, which was a cross between Finn the Human and Link from Zelda. And then it's
more jokes that are funnier that we have to explain who they are.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And then it's always X's that mess up my Halloween. She was a zombie Pikachu that year. You remember?
I thought she was just emaciated.
She very well could have been.
Yeah,
very well could have been. I don't know.
She was looking rough that night. She wasn't. She was not at her best.
No, definitely not. There actually is a story for the reason that was the case. To be honest with you. Okay. But no, I always want to do really cool Halloween costumes, and then it's like fuck. And then I did hipster Pennywise for that one NVW show, and that's really about it. That's really about it. I don't know how we got on the topic of Halloween costumes, but hey, here we are.
They're great though. I love them, and I've always wanted. We talked about it a while back, but I always try to do them big, but I can only operate in a certain place. Like. It only works in certain environments.
And I think that's the problem with my costume ideas too.
So it's like we wanted to do anything. And she was like, well, we could just get in our costumes and hang out at home. And I go, no, I'm not doing that.
That's
like
stupid.
But in what other situation is the Cody Raheem Rhodes going to work other than a very small wrestling show? I'm going around. I'm going around with my WWE title belt, my toy belt.
Yeah,
and I was saying, I'm shaking hands with all the black wrestlers, and I was like, "I'm proud to be your champion." And then somebody, I can't remember who used it, but somebody grabbed my belt and hit somebody during one of the hardcore matches, and I go, "Oh no, my story!" So,
I love it.
But we got that, and then the year before, Car and I went as Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
And you were Raquel.
I was Raquel because I got the back muscles.
Yeah.
There. So,
and then Oliver got the photo of you, right? And he was like, "This is my new favorite rat," or something.
Yeah. And I learned that I could still hit the big boot on Madrox if I wanted to, and I was doing them in those Raquel Rodriguez Hot Topic pleather pants.
And you hurt yourself really bad doing that, though, right?
You don't need to dig into that part, but I did. I tore a hamstring a little bit, or not tore, pulled
just a little bit,
just micro tears. No, I pulled a hamstring earlier today getting out of the car. Not my finest moment.
That's nice. That's nice. I got something going on with my arm right here. Like it just keeps do it different directions. It hurts. This is called getting old.
That's right.
Getting old.
Get on that yoga.
I do. Yeah. Remember when DDP yoga was the shit? And I think it still is.
It still is.
Yeah.
It's on archive.org. You can find it for free. The whole program.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny. I love his story about he went on Shark Tank and they turned him down and he was like, okay. And then he walked out, but then he did like $1 million in sales just being featured on Shark Tank. He didn't even need him to back him. It was just like, okay, well, the exposure was enough. And I think that's why a lot of people go on Shark Tank. Probably. But, well.
Yeah, you got to know your worth. And he knew that whatever they were offering was not worth it. And then when he immediately, I think it was something like 5 times whatever they were asking for the first 3 months. and he was able to do like 5 times more in a month or something.
Yeah.
And so then they wanted him back, and they renegotiated, and they did end up doing something, but they gave him the whole deal with Shark Tank is they want the intellectual property.
Yes. They want in perpetuity as well. Especially Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary loves perpetuity.
So, because that's how you make the long game money.
Yes.
So
yeah, I would never sell anything in perpetuity because you're locked in. You have to, no matter what, you're there, brother.
We're going to wrap this up now because my mom just texted me and said, I know you're busy, but I just made a fried hard-boiled egg and I saved one for you.
Oh, okay. Does that mean that
that's a sentence that I never thought I would read, but
does that mean that for paid show, you're going to eat this hard-boiled egg and then come back?
I might. I mean, yeah, I guess book it.
Okay. I'm assuming that you're sticking around for paid show.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I was getting ready to wrap up anyway. So that's a pretty good one right there. We'll end on that one. So
I got a couple more stories, and I feel they're more appropriate for paid show anyway.
Yes, you had told me specifically that you had one that you wanted to talk about on Paid Ski. So we'll go ahead and hit that one. So, all right, Brian, thank you. Contrary to what your internal monologue says, you are very important to me. And I'm not just calling on you because Madrox is MIA. I couldn't think of the proper I almost said DOA, but I'm like, nope, we don't want that.
Nope, that's the wrong letters.
No, absolutely the wrong letters. So not even going to bother giving you the plugs because you don't really even let's actually give your plugs because I know you got some stuff on YouTube, like you uploaded all the UWC onlines and whatnot.
Yeah, it's fine. You if you want them, you can figure it out. So cool. Like if you would have talked to me a few weeks ago, you could find me at AVW training in Danville at Illini Skateland. But since then, I've lost my smile. Again, I lose it regularly. I don't want to be back there for a little bit. So maybe if you really, really want to see me, just go to Danville and go to a grocery store. I'll probably be there.
Chances are you'll be there stocking the shelves.
Something, yeah. I might be doing something.
Yeah, you can, of course, find me on Instagram at DWobsEditBay. The big plug right now, patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Of course, MadBash Wrestling Event Horizon is just a few weeks away. Super duper stoked for that one. You cannot beat that show with a stick. It is going to be an absolute banger of a show. Shout out to all of our sponsors for that as well. Yeah, but again, like I said, the big plug ski, patreon.com/MadBash Studios. For those of you that are on the Patreon, you can hear Jason V and I on paid show. But for everybody else, we will see you down the road on some form of content.